So listen, if you're trying to sell ketchup to an Eskimo
I'm
wearing
gonna
white
find
gloves,
the picture and I'm gonna put it on the screen right here so you can see what we're laughing about. But the question I have, and we're gonna change the subject because I don't want to send you out.
the rabbit hole's deep here.
So like purple and ankle bracelet. You would. Let's do it. Yeah. Hey, it's your boy Chad Rob. We
round
back,
round
baby.
two.
Hey, you the first repeat guest I've ever had on my podcast, man. So I feel, man, I'm stoked, man. I am stoked that somebody wanted to come back through the podcast, man, and somebody answered the phone, man, and said, "Hey, man, I'm with it, man." You know, it was really
Everybody's answering the phone right now. I think they're like,
but no, they answer it, but nobody would tell you no if you don't want to do it. If you don't want to do the podcast, just say, "Nah, I don't want to do the podcast." See, they always do this. Oh, they can't see it on the camera, so that's good.
No, they can't.
Yeah, so that's good. We got a good angle. But this is the hashtag iAMWHOiAM podcast. This is episode 39. I had to do some research this time because 38, I couldn't find anybody with that number 38.
That was good. Who'd you come up with?
Steven Jackson. 39. So it's really cool, man. I got a good friend of mine, Doug Headrick. He is back, baby. So we've been talking before we got started with the podcast, man, about
truth
the
telling.
glass.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt. Either the glass half full. Everybody watching this Jordan documentary, Jordan was a real big glass half full type of guy, right? So we've been back and forth, like, you know, it's all about how you look at it. Glass half full. Glass half empty, and so
you
we
decide. You decide. I decide. She decides.
She decides. Yeah,
even at her age, right?
Yeah. So that's gonna be the theme, man. We're gonna roll with that. But to start off this episode, I have to talk about how we totally missed the whole man walking into the store with a thong on. You worked at at&t. Guy walks in the store.
Major communication company, not
retail in the store, right? Walks in the store, grown man, wasn't swollen and wasn't jacked, didn't walk in like Arnold or nothing.
Your granddad or your dad who doesn't take care of himself at all. Yeah.
Walks in the store and he has a thong on. So were you on the sales floor when this happens? Talk to me about that, man.
No. And when you brought this up, so we talked earlier in the week.
Yeah, no doubt. I said, this is what I said. I can't believe you were on the podcast we didn't even talk. It made it all the way to Tosh 3.0, man.
No, it was
we didn't even
viral.
Talk about it.
It was viral.
This was many years ago.
This was, I guess, viral wasn't new, but it was, you know.
Yeah, that's the verge of viral.
It was, yeah. There's been things that went viral, but that was for I guess for us and what we did, it was big. But so no, it was not on the sales floor, Chad. And if you're used to the sales floor, you're just retail space. If you've been to a retail store, you know what the sales floor is. Right. Those guys are out there to help you, yes, and take care of problems. Right. But they're trying to make a dollar. It's a sales floor.
You gotta make a dollar. Yeah.
Got to make a dollar in the back room, and so I hear this commotion. The door comes flying open, and what I would call he was a Chad type guy. He was a really good salesman, good with people, just good guy. He's like, "Doug, you got to get out here now." And I'm in the middle. I just got off a call, and I think I was pretending to do something. Let's just be honest. What I was doing at the time, I really wasn't doing anything.
Right.
I was there to help. They had a floating manager position that really wasn't glorified. Just, you know, he was a Rob Rock. It was a good position. It was a lot of growth. I grew. Yeah. Not a bad position. But again, it was one of those. You really weren't special.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And so I came out on the floor, and it's a guy in a thong. And when I say thong, it was a thong.
Like a thong.
Thong.
Like the thong.
You know, you know the rhythm. You know
I
the
usually like them.
Yes. And on the right body, and even if it was a woman, if it's not on the right body, it doesn't matter. And listen, your yoga pants tell me you don't do yoga most of the time. Now, sometimes the yoga pants are fantastic.
Yeah. Don't stop wearing them. Just let us judge you at the time.
Don't read me wrong at all. So, yes, so a man in a thong. So you're thinking immediately. My mind goes to, okay, how do I handle this? I can freak out and make a scene, or how do I be professional, Chad?
Right,
I think
right.
that I'm stuttering, but how do I be professional when handling the situation? So I set the scene, walk out, very front of the store. Like if you walked into the store, the first guy you saw, the first thing your eyes going to is the guy in the thong. He's right at the front counter. So it's right up there. And he's just talking away. He's not being rude. He's not being obnoxious. He's just, and the guy that was helping him, I believe his name was Nathan, if I remember correctly. I can't remember his last name. But the guy you could tell he was struggling. Like he was like this, head down. He had the computer. Obviously the guy's asking him questions.
Right.
I'm looking this up because we were just talking about this too. Like, hey, I'm on the phone with him helping you out. Am I going to help you, or are you going to keep being rude to me? I'm going to put you on the word.
We can talk all day if you want.
I'll talk all. Yes,
I'm
thank
here
you, Chad.
till whatever time.
I'm here. I'm here till 5.
Or
do you
9.
want me to be here?
10:30 though, you got to go.
That's
You know what
funny.
I'm saying? Yeah, I'll stay a little over with you on this phone.
Yeah, on this phone. I'm not going to do anything you think I'm working on.
Nothing.
So come out and he's a wreck. He couldn't make eye contact. Wow. He couldn't look, and I would be too, right? And if anything, it was laughable because it was a purple thong.
It was purple.
Purple. I remember that. But here's what I remember, because
that's a whole nother question. But go ahead.
Yes, and we'll go back to that question because this is good. So, but the next thing that stood out to me was, because I'm just like, it's one of those things like when you walk out and I'm looking up and down. So I do this and I see gold. There was a gold ankle bracelet that stood out to me. I don't know why, but I can. And when I say gold, like the nugget, like the nugget bracelets.
You're still looking down.
I'm looking. Yes. I'm looking down. So I'm looking down because I'm trying not to look at what's there, obviously, because that's all that's.
No, I'm with you.
I'm trying to find.
No,
I've never thought about that, Chad, but that's funny. Like, I'm trying to look down.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So when I stand there, and you can imagine, I'm standing there looking at him. My hands are on my hips. I'm thinking about what to do. I'm waiting because he's talking. I'm trying not to be rude, actually. I'm standing behind him. I'm with this close.
Yeah, okay.
I'm standing behind him trying to hover, and I'm not being. He's talking, and I'm not trying to interrupt him because I don't want to be rude.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why I wasn't rude. I mean, because that's a reason to be rude. Like, you're a grown-ass man.
Why are you
in a thong? But when I tell you what his reasoning was, you're going to really laugh.
Oh, wow.
So his DSL wasn't working, just by the way.
His
DSL's
like,
internet. Yeah, so let me tell you that time frame. We were just going back a few, but DSL wasn't working. His router wasn't working.
DSL. Emergency.
We
got to leave out.
So I oh my God! I left off.
That's an emergency.
And when I tell you what he said, you're even going to laugh harder. So he stops talking, and I just kind of step up beside him, and I say, "Listen, can you help me out? Can you get some shorts on?
Yeah.
Like, you understand that you're in a store. I'm just trying to, but I remember I do remember specifically saying, do you have some shorts that you can put on? We want to help you. We want to, because I've got like." Every single person in the store is looking at me and how I'm dealing with this. Here I'm this just started floating manager. Yeah. I hadn't been doing it for 2 months, Chad. So I'm trying to everybody's watching me. And guess who's going to get talked about is how I handle this.
Right.
So can you find some shorts? He's like, oh, God. He's just like, oh, man, listen, I'm so sorry. I love to be. This is literally what he said to me. I walk him to the side and we're talking. He's like, look, man, I'm really sorry. He was genuine. Like, you could tell he wasn't. He was like, and I believed him. He said,
you believed him? As you're looking down. So we got a couple more questions, but go ahead.
He said, look, I just like to be naked. I mean, he looked at me and like he's like, man, I just enjoy being naked. That's what he said. And I didn't even know what to say. I couldn't argue with him. Like, okay, so but, and he's like, I was at the pool. We were having some drinks.
Oh, what? The DSL?
And the DSL, he said, literally, he was like, I couldn't get on the internet, and I thought I would come to find out why.
It's an emergency.
It was an emergency, so.
Man.
So this picture was like, it was funny because it happened, and I don't think it was 15, 20 minutes after the guy left, there was a call come from somebody. Like it got posted on the internet. Like
quick.
Like within 15
So you got
minutes.
his DSL working.
Apparently. Oh, the DSL worked. He had internet. High speed. Like on the Verge chat. I remember when I first started with AT&T, we were talking about Edge. Remember Edge? Like, Chad's like, well, you're on the edge of fast. He said the edge of, and I don't know why it's always struck me. So I don't know if I've ever told you that, but you made this thing. It was like, we were talking about speed, and he's like, well, because I was excited because Chad had like the iPhone 2 or 3, and I had just got an iPhone 1, and he's like, well, you're on the edge of fast.
Hey, man, it's all about
glass
half full.
Chad. So the whole time we're here talking, one of us is going to point out half full.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's all about
your perception. But now, Chad's perception was half. You're on the edge of fast is not.
Hey, man, but it's not fast, but it's close.
It's close.
So just sign up today. You're gonna be fast soon. Just call me.
Yes. So listen, if you're trying to sell ketchup to an Eskimo wearing
my
white gloves,
picture and I'm gonna put it on the screen right here so you can see what we're laughing about. But the question I have, we're gonna change the subject because I don't want to send you out.
The rabbit hole's deep here.
So like purple and ankle bracelet. You looking down? How you know it's purple?
My shirt, and by the way, my shirt was purple. I do remember.
Wow.
Even my shirt was like a. It was like around the springish. So here's what's funny.
I do remember that.
Here's what's funny.
That was the best one shirt we had.
It was, yes. It had AT&T embossed. I didn't go buy this purple shirt. This
no.
This was free corporate money I spent on this shirt because I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
But so it was springtime. The dude actually coordinated with, because when AT&T would release product, like in the springtime, you would get those colors like purple,
right.
the blues. This guy was wearing a purple. So I can appreciate his style.
Hey, man. Hey, as long as you can appreciate it, you can appreciate it, man.
Half full, I guess.
Yeah, half full. Because that was half empty for me. I always thought half empty because I would have stopped at the purple thong. I never would have saw the ankle bracelet. But we ain't even got to talk about that no more. We ain't got to talk about that. So it's... We have to touch on this. So we were talking just a minute ago. So the kid's jogging.
Yeah, and this is a sensitive, not suitable for work. If you're sensitive right now, this is just true. We're just truth tellers, right?
Just truth tellers.
Man,
just a black man and a white man
guy,
discussing race
and look.
Yeah.
I don't know your perspective, and I'm not even going to pretend to. And can Chad appreciate mine? Of course not. There's no way.
Yeah.
But we can relate. Here's what's important: we're human, and we're truth tellers, and we're not sensitive. And
right.
Again, there's just blatant sickness and blatant just nastiness and stuff that doesn't make sense. Right? I think a lot of what's been going on to me doesn't make sense, and I think that's truth in the purest form. Is that a lot of things don't make anyways. No. But that's a deep subject.
No. You saying the right stuff because with me, man, it's more. I'm sick of the race conversation.
Yeah, race card, right?
The race card, the whole race thing. So a crime is a crime.
Absolutely, of course.
So if you're caught on tape shooting anybody, you need to be in jail. So I get caught drinking and driving. Mm-hmm. You're gonna take me to jail. You're gonna let me free.
Yeah.
But I have to go talk to somebody downtown, take my fingerprints, sit in the holding tank. Yes, you can come get me and post my bond. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I have to go to jail. Yeah,
it's something for a certain amount of time. You have your rights, and guess what? Like these guys, you don't get out. You're not getting bailed out.
Well,
there's some video evidence. It's a little different than the drunk drive.
I get it. But I'm just saying at the minutia of it. Mm-hmm. So I get caught with some weed on me.
Yeah.
I get caught in a hoodie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't bother him at all that you're in a hoodie. Right?
I get it.
Sure.
But I gotta go downtown. I gotta put my fingers on the stuff. Mm-hmm. I gotta sit there till someone that loves me comes and gets me.
Yeah. Somebody would be. Somebody loves you.
Yeah, and they come get me. I call you if I need to.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's what bothers me. So you commit a crime, is a dead body, and you have shotguns on you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fingerprints taken. So I get the guy was the police or the investigator.
So the guy, I think it was the
father
was a former
whatever with the
and
police.
I think two of the prosecutors stepped back initially, like the two
well,
prosecutors.
not initially, but now
then
that
they've
went
viral.
They've stepped back.
Okay, because I thought they had pulled. I remember seeing they had pulled back on that.
Yeah. So there's a dead body. There's shotguns. No jail, no fingerprints. I'm saying go take them downtown, get their fingerprints. I get they're gonna get bailed, bonded out.
Mm-hmm.
Let them go downtown. You ain't gotta put them in cuffs. Put them in the back seat. Put them in the front seat. Take them downtown.
Sure.
Write it up, and then
think about this guy, the former police officer, and his son was with him. We know that.
Right.
I mean, this guy. You think about the contacts he had. Do you think for a second that him and his son had to go out into the street? Even if so, Chad, if you stood up and if you were running down my street right now with this, and I think visual image is powerful.
Well,
that's a powerful.
Visual.
Yeah, you're visual. So look
I
at
can
this.
even back up.
Yeah,
and like I have to back up this far to be in the screen.
Right. And so if I'm looking at you, though, like I would see that I might be like something doesn't look right. If you were in the middle of the day in a black hood, I could see where there might be some confusion.
Yeah, it might be a question asked.
But this cat is in a white T-shirt, jogging shorts, and shoes, and like there's no reason that you're thinking like you're not assuming that this is come on. Do you think this guy did something? Am I missing something?
So I watched the video. So hold on, let me back up.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say this. I do want to say this, and I have to say this.
Yeah.
So everything's opening back up. We're dealing with coronavirus right now, right?
Right.
COVID-19.
Right.
And they're saying
we've never seen anything like this, right?
Never. We just went to Hooters.
And we could talk about this for the next 30 minutes. So seriously,
let's talk about it. So we walk into Hooters.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We walk in the wrong door.
New norm. This is funny.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chad. I'm gonna shut up. Go, Chad. Go.
So no, there's the doors, the double swinging doors. You can open either door. So we looking at it's a chair in the middle. You can walk in the left door or the right door. Mm-hmm. I choose the left. I think I chose the left. I'm like, let's go left. Yeah. They're like, whoa.
But now I was thinking right, so I was like, Chad went the wrong way. I was like, Chad. So
see, I haven't been out. And we'll get to that too. Yeah. I haven't been out. This is my first time even in the public. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So I go left. I'm like, woo. They're like, whoa, you got it. I was like, whoa. So I back up quick. Didn't no lump alarms go off. It felt like Planet Fitness. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa.
And by the way, it went really awkward at that point because when we actually got inside the door, I could tell Chad was like, I really feel awkward here. And even I did. But then the girl in her mask. And by the way, looks like she's a cowboy with I imagine like taking my, what's the thing called? Bandana, and I pull it up. That's what they're wearing. And she's like, did you not see the sign on the door? And I'm like, well, honestly, no. I mean, I saw all kinds of signs, but we didn't read it. I just know when Chad started going left, I was like, oh, no, Chad. I didn't say it. I was like, you need to go.
I left the way to go. Yeah, the right way, I guess, now that I think about it. You go the right way, I guess. But golly, man, like, I got to be thinking about that.
And so what was the next thing that happened?
So we get inside.
What? What'd they check?
We get inside.
Yeah, first thing she said. Not
was
even hello.
Sanitizer.
No hello. No. Hey, like, welcome. We have 15 people in the whole restaurant. We hold 100. Thank you for coming and to tip us and buy food. But anyways.
Hand sanitizer. So then I proceed to use the hand sanitizer. They're like, whoa.
Wait. It was empty. But guess what? Come use this one. Guess what was empty too? Neither one of them worked. Neither one of them.
So we're looking for hand sanitizer because it says apparently those two things the right way in the door and hand sanitizer is emergency. That's the priorities going into the store.
Oh, that's
so we finally get hand sanitized. We get our temperature checked. But I'm like, whoa. So whatever. Everybody's walking around with masks. It was a terrible experience. Not because of them, but
No,
because
not
of
at all.
but just because of that's apparently the new norm.
The new norm. We're going to keep circling back to this.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
word and phrase is driving me nuts.
So the new norm, and it I guess what kills me is this. I'm gonna go back to the shooting right now, I guess.
Yeah.
So this is what kills me about it. So you're saying in order to go out in the public,
Yes.
wear a mask. Mm-hmm. So I work out in this. This is how I work out. I chose to wear this on the podcast because this is how I work out normally.
Yeah.
And with my hood on, my do-rag on. And now you're saying add a mask to my workout.
But now I will speak to this. So if I saw you in the hoodie working, I wouldn't think now the mask. I might start thinking, but right now I like okay. This guy's. I've seen that. That's not unusual to me.
Right.
I've
Whether it's summer or winter, right?
Sure. Normal in a gym. Yes.
So now you're saying, okay, I feel safe walking in the gym with the mask on, I guess. Mm-hmm. Right?
You would have, yeah.
I feel kind of safe walking. Surely they're not going to shoot me in the gym. Right? Well, no, I'm just saying back to the
first black man
half
ever
black, half
shot.
full, or no, not half black, half full.
No. That's
But
even
half-
better.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm full black. My kids
I'm full.
are half, but I can't put no mask on.
I'm 1/4.
Yeah,
I think that's what they came back. No, I'm
Sorry, no, I feel it. But, hey, you better claim something out here if you got a mask on, apparently. So you're saying, so you want me to walk in the gym with a mask on. Now work out like this, right? So now I got the mask on. So now I walk out the gym
Oh yeah, that's not a good
with
look.
the mask on and the hoodie. Surely I fit the description
of
something.
if I want to see that, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
Surely,
looking.
If that's what I'm hunting,
Oh
you see what I'm saying? So let's say
but
this.
no,
Let's
that's
say
true.
this.
But that's
Let's
heavy.
say this.
That's
This is heavy. So
it's
let's say
heavy.
this. So
It's
let's say I
heavy.
left the
It's
house.
truth.
Let's
It's
say I just bought a bike. Let's say I chose the bike to the gym. The gym's not far from my house. Let's say I chose the bike to the gym. Let's say I was really health conscious and I believed all the propaganda and I chose to wear a mask on my bike with the hoodie to my gym.
Chan, I'd be honest. I don't know. I would probably, as your friend, be like, Chad, I don't know if he should. Right? I mean,
So I feel good about making it there, though.
yeah.
But when I leave, so now I work out hour 30, 2 hours. You got hour, 2 hours to plot. Hey,
Yeah.
I just saw a big ass black dude on this skinny tire bike with a hoodie
Something's not right.
and a mask
Something's not right.
riding through where we live. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's scary, man. It's scary because you're saying he fit the description, but he didn't have any of those attributes.
No.
But then that's the law, though. I thought was you got to wear a mask.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
No,
now
I see what you're
now
saying.
you got a black. So imagine if he would have had a mask on, then would it have been justified? You see what I'm saying? Because now he does look like a robber.
Yeah, and looks like and could see how it could be misconstrued. Now, does that give you the right, Mister? Now, which I think the state of Georgia has a law where citizens can assist in and of course I don't claim to be a lawyer,
no doubt.
But they have a law where if you're a citizen, you have the right and can assist in a citizen's arrest.
Oh, so that's what they were talking about.
So I think that was maybe what they were saying. Maybe that was their reasoning for going after this guy. But again, if Chad was like you're making, this is a serious point. Like I'm in a hoodie and I was wearing a mask.
Just
I
like
could
this.
see. I could potentially understand it. It's one thing though to be in just. I'm obviously jogging here. Like and I don't know why when I say jogging, I think of Wilf jogging, like he was the reporter, jogging. You know what I'm talking about? He's trying to impress the girl. He's like, I'm into jogging, like he's jogging. Okay, this guy's not breaking in a house. It's the middle of the day, and he's in the middle of this in white, like he's black wearing all white.
All white.
Okay, come on. There's nothing going on with that guy. So the whole situation is disturbing. But going back to I guess what was our point? Our point is just that with situations how they are now and how we present ourselves, right? I could see if I present myself as we were talking about this earlier too, is how we present ourselves and how people see you. And my filter, what I judge, how I would judge, right? How I might judge you or how someone else might judge you.
Exactly.
Their filter's way different than mine.
You're a gym goer. You see a black man in a hoodie walking in the gym, that's nothing
I'm
new.
not shocked.
You may see a black man jogging in a hoodie. May not mean nothing to you.
But what about this guy?
What about this guy?
So at a good point, I think we brought this up too when we're talking about just the black and white and you have in Michigan, they're protesting, they're upset, right, because of the restriction and the shutdown, which I think we've had this conversation. We think the shutdown is. We don't know
enough information.
Exactly. To really speak, to sit here and talk wise and try to tell you, I know this. I don't know jack crap. Compared to what they know. 100%. But if you had 4 or 5 black men that look like you showed up to the state capitol with AK-40, like military weapons, are you serious? And they're going to be, and you think they're going to let you stand there? Now, don't get me wrong. These people were exercising their rights.
Yeah.
They didn't.
They probably had permits to carry.
I'm sure,
and they weren't automatics. So we know. I didn't see any tests
as
going.
As far as we know, right?
You know what I'm
but
saying?
then but again, I've seen, and I think you have too. Working in retail, you see people come in and they're open carry, and I've seen that, and I've never, and I've been around guns my whole life.
Right.
I grew up hunting. I had family. I mean, everybody had guns. There's nothing. Guns were not scary to me.
Yeah, same here.
But in the public, to see someone with a gun open, to me is like I don't understand. Do you really feel that threatened? Here's my thing. Like, I know I know where I'm going to be and where I'm going to go. If there's going to be trouble, I probably know when I need to open carry and when I do. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like learning to be the Mr. Karate Master. And I grew up, sports. I boxed. I'm no bad ass. I don't claim to be.
Yeah.
But again, you can train and be this. But come on. Like wherever whether you need to be protecting yourself.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
But so many rabbit holes there with what we've been going, but
it's just
the new norm, right? We're in a new norm, right? Everybody accept that phrase, new norm.
Man, and it's so sad because I don't like it, man. I don't like it, and I don't like you social distancing humankind because we were already behind 8 ball. As far as if you're talking race,
sure.
If you know what I'm saying. So now you're like, it's definitely kill him. He had it. He had coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? Now that's what's gonna come out. You see what I'm saying? He had coronavirus. That's why we shot him.
Well, it seems like right. I think everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, come on, now you justify it. Yeah. But on a lighter note, man, I don't want to bark up that tree. We both gave our opinion on it. It sucks, and I don't feel like that was the right thing to do.
Oh no! I think everybody. There's not a human being alive that
I hope
feels
not.
like that.
I really hope not. I really hope not. I feel like if you're gonna let him out, let him bond out, but you should lock him up. If you're not even on tape. If there's a dead body in the street, and you have weapons,
and you shot him, and they didn't. I don't think that was a denial.
They never denied it. I don't think they ever denied it, man. So he should go to jail at least to get bonded out. A charge. I guess he should have got charged with something at the point, whether it's accidental or I'm sorry, I did it. Weapons,
and pretty sure in this situation, I think these guys they're going to get charged, and it's pretty obvious.
Well, we can talk about that. That's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Man, you're right,
because I mean, the shooter may just because of the popularity, but one of them going home.
Yeah.
But
And there's truth to that too. And so how do you
you see what I'm saying? So it's like
these are all topics, right? That you can go on and on about, and you know what? In the next black man would have a different opinion. The next white guy would have a different. None of us are going to have the. None of us know everything, right? We all are going to learn something, and you may have a point of view
soon.
Yes, and everybody has a point of view, and we all have a filter. I think that's the key too. So, what's your filter? Is it half full or is it half empty? What's your filter? And that's something your filter's so important. Like, you better realize, because I've been there. I know I had no doubt. I had the filter where I saw a lot of negative in my life, man, and used it probably as. Would I have come out and said, like, hey, I'm just, because my dad did this and was robbing people. My dad was killed. My dad was killed at somebody's house, stealing from him, and should have. But what I'm saying is, like, you can use things like those that happen to you as an excuse, and like, I do this because of this.
Because of this, yeah.
No.
And it boils down to what we're dealing with kind of right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So we're dealing with this whole,
we talked about this.
So we're dealing
different,
with the coronavirus, right?
What's your filter, Chad?
You have been out in it this whole time.
Been out in it. No shutdown. I'm essential.
You're essential. And I'm essentially working from home.
Okay.
I haven't left.
Stopped working. Still a working man.
Still working, but I haven't left the house, And then when I leave the house, it's to go get something directly and come back, and I may see 2, maybe 3 people.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So talk to me about how it's been. Like, have you noticed any difference now? Like, because you're out in it every day, still working, but out in the public. Yeah. So with me, it's a little different. So talk to me a little bit.
Yeah, I think a little bit, to my experience, just with being construction. So I work in properties that are vacant typically, or I do a lot of maintenance work. So I go to the customer's house and whatever, roof leak, you name it. So I'm still going. I've been this whole time. Hasn't stopped. Like, within every week, once a week, I'm at least in some stranger's house. Okay. Okay, there's kids in the house, and we always have the conversation of how everything's going, and the kids, how are y'all doing? Just because I'm always talking about relating to people. Right. I've got a wife. My wife's at home with. Anyways. Yeah. So I'm doing that. I'm going to home. It looks. I've never seen. Please, if I could go back to like early, like Home Depot, whoever, lock it down. No homeowners. Going to Home Depot has been the biggest, because I'm in there daily. Like, usually at least once a day, I go to Home Depot. Not on either I'm in Maryville, wherever, I'm in a Home Depot. Yeah. But the lines and the crowds of people, I've never seen them. And literally in talking to them, when I would go in home, I'm like, so this is he's like, they've done numbers. They've been doing numbers. Like, they don't normally sell this kind, because everybody's home. Everybody's doing the honey-do list. Everybody's I've got a honey-do list, and I don't like doing them because that's the work I do I get paid to do that kind of work. So to do it for free is hard. I will do it because I love my wife.
Yeah, no doubt.
But so people everywhere, differences. I initially none. I didn't see anything other than Home Depot when they started doing the lines. They would have the line. You had to get in line, and they would count you, and they would stop you. Yeah. So many people at a store at one time, and then that got less. And we made this. I made this point to my buddy that I work with, business partner, that. So I predicted. I said, so in 3 and 4 months, like when this first started, I said, what's going to happen in 3 or 4 months when they say that everything's okay? They're just going to start everything back up, and we can all run around and like. I don't get it. Like, something's not going on. None of this has seemed right to me. Right. But no difference until then. I just see the more and more is the mask. I see more and more masks. I see more and more of you can just tell people aren't like you not comfortable around you. Wow. Like when you get with any and I find myself like oh my God, I got to sneeze. I don't want to sneeze because I think they're going, people looking at you like you're dying and you're going to give them something. Yeah. And I'm not sick. I haven't been sick. Not stopped since this has been going, but just seeing the way people have been uneasy around people and the extent to which people have went to, I think, try to prevent being sick or making people sick. And the mask thing, I don't understand. We've talked about this, and I think you can research enough to find it on your own that the masks really don't prevent anything, and they actually hold bacteria and germs. And I don't know. It seems, again, maybe I don't appreciate it, and I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, and the thing is, like we talked about earlier. So from my perspective is I haven't really left the house.
Yeah.
Tonight was the first time I've really been in the public.
And you seem, and knowing you and knowing Chad as like I do, like you seemed off, and like you didn't seem comfortable tonight.
No.
And I don't mean that you weren't like you're comfortable around me.
Yeah.
But I'm like I could just like you were like me, even I was, because that's really only the second. I went with the family last Sunday to a restaurant. We went hiking. Down at the Arboretum in Oak Ridge, which is beautiful, by the way. If you ever get a chance, if you just like to get out and get a little fresh air, right?
Yeah.
Everybody needs it right now. And we went and sat down, and there's everybody's spaced out, and everything's just weird with people, man.
Super
weird. And it's probably more mental than just seeing people in masks. I never expected to see that in my life. Where I've seen videos or pictures of people in China and everybody in the streets, like New York, like crowded up. Everybody's in a mask. Well, I think now going forward, I don't think I think that's what we're gonna see.
And that sucks because, I mean, even with our waitress tonight, at first, you could tell it was like,
very, very well. Like,
and then as she realized we were real people, then it kind of got a little bit. Oh yeah, I hate the mask.
Well, we brought it up. I think even because we were talking about it between each other and find one. I don't remember. We were just talking to like, hey, it's just this weird, right? And she was like, they don't feel comfortable. Right. And I would imagine if that's my job to wait on people, I'm probably with a mask. I mean, just knowing that business of dealing with people, like when you put a mask over you, like I think it's like 70% of our communication is non-verbal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people read your facial expressions and your body language. And so when you start covering up your face and I'm trying to interact, it's like texting with someone. Like I can't read
unless I can't read you. I may not know what that meant.
No.
And even if I know you, it's still up for debate.
True. You don't know. So I think it limits you to how you can, and to try to, I don't know, to try to be friendly with somebody. Like you can't even tell me. Like I could be like, snarling at you. I'm not smiling. You don't know. You can't read their facial expression.
Right. So now it's definitely robotic, kind of.
Very.
Because now all I got to do is really check down the list. As long as I go down the list of asking you everything, I can hit.
Mm-hmm.
Because before it's based off feeling, emotions, I can kind of swivel this way, read this way. But now I don't know what you're thinking. All I can see is your eyes. So now I can kind of see if you don't like it, I guess. But you don't know. You
can't read it all. You don't have a full picture. You don't have a full picture.
You full of it. You know what I'm saying? That type of deal. But
So you asked me what I've seen, and so what I've seen is just that I've seen this withdrawal in this people really like following the protocol. Like I don't know, people with their masks on, I just still find like seeing people in their car with masking, like they're riding in a car with a mask and gloves on, and they're together. Like it'd be like me and my wife, and we're riding it. Now, again, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not right. I just think it's odd. And like you talk about, we talked with the waitress tonight that, so you've got a mask on, but you're going around picking up dirty food, like germs, their gloves, they don't change their gloves every time. So again, if you're going out in public to eat, if you think their gloves and their face mask are protecting you, you're a fool.
Yeah.
Because it's not. Everything's, so you got gloves on, you touch, I take my wallet out of my pocket. Well, guess what? I put all this.
I just pay with cash.
Yeah. Well, it's all over everything.
I just handed you my card. And I don't got gloves. And you hand it back to me. So if we're treating it like physicians, like I've noticed physicians back in the day, they used to take the gloves off, touch it, boom, boom, take them off, throw them away.
Yeah.
And they come back in, got to check something else.
I think we've got to get used to that.
If that's
where
what
we're
you're
going.
Then I get it.
Yeah.
And the mask, they used to be like, take it off. And then they leave the room. Then they come back,
put a new one on. And I think that's what you're going to see going forward. It's probably there's more and more of it. And like our kids are probably it's not going to be weird to them.
And that sucks, man. Because like I said,
agree.
Man, sitting at home, man, one thing I've I've kind of learned is, and this is another, glass half full, glass half empty type of conversation is, so sitting at home, man, we always feel like we rushed, and we always feel like we ain't got enough time. It's so like we all feel rushed. We all feel like we don't have any time.
We complain before all this.
Before all this, yeah.
Right, I think that's before all this, it was never enough time. Go on, keep going.
Never enough. And so I'll give you an example, man. I remember when all this was hitting, people kept talking about it. We're gonna quarantine. We're gonna quarantine. We're gonna quarantine. So in my mind, I was like, perfect. You know what I'm saying? I would love to.
Yes.
So yeah, and I was so excited about it. So me, as the forward thinking person I am, I went out and I shot 8 episode 29 with Charles.
With Charles. So, which by the way, that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Charles or another.
Yeah. So I went from 29 to 35. I shot all of them in like 5 days.
That's awesome. Well, everybody had a moment, right? Everybody had a breather.
Well, then I didn't, though. This was preparing for the quarantine.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
I'm preparing. So the quarantine comes out. It's business. We still popping, baby. We still rolling. And I was like, man, I'm going to spend time with kids. I'm going to get my bodybuilding channel going. I'm going to get everything rolling. I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to get focused. I'm going to do all this great stuff. And most of it I did. Yeah. Excusing the other channel, but with my kids, man, we hung out. We saw each other every day. I still had to work, so I'm still working 8 hours a day. But when I get off, I'm able. Hey, we can go to the track. We can do this. We can do that.
You were here. You were here
I'm
at home,
here
pretty
at
much.
home, and I didn't leave.
So how did that work for you? I want to ask you because I know that I struggle with it when I do have stuff to do at home. It's really hard for me to work at home. Because of the kids, I just find that, every time I get into something, it's like, they want you to come through or they want you to. So how do you make, because I can imagine that for somebody that's used to going to an office or being away. Like I know I just am better outside of the house. Like it's like working out at home. Last time I was here, we were talking about working out at home.
It's hard.
I like going. There's something about that mental aspect of going into a gym. It's it's just different. To me. So I would love to hear how you were successful, how you could maintain that, because I would struggle. I know.
Well, so the thing is, I had to take my losses. So like I said, I sacrificed my bodybuilding channel. I didn't even work on it.
Sure.
So with my kids, at first, the first few weeks, my middle one would come downstairs and she would do her schoolwork with me. Yeah. So we both were kind of quiet and doing our work. And then, I would get up a little earlier and, hey, y'all need to do X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. If you see this table, my wife put this
desk looks really good, by the way.
Yeah, so for them to do her schoolwork. You know what I'm saying? That's their desk. They can do their schoolwork now. So now they all come up here to do their schoolwork and stuff. So now they do their schoolwork from, whatever time. They don't work past lunchtime. Mm-hmm. So after lunchtime, it's like, what can I get them on? So like I got them doing Spanish. Hey, you need to do Spanish. You need to do this. You need to do that. We got Zoom things. You need to do something. But most of the time it's Roblox or whatever the other game is, Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time that's what turns into 2 to when I get off. You know what I'm saying? But how I'm able to do it is because it's for me what I do is more so being available, following up, and getting, everything I need to do done. True. So with you, it's a little different because you you are
right.
The engine.
I'm doing the doing the work.
You're the engine.
Where you're more managing.
Yeah, I'm more
work,
managing the work. So with me,
done,
man, hey, we gotta do this, and this. Hey, what y'all doing? Okay, yeah. Okay, let me get back. Oh yeah.
Makes
you know what I'm saying? So I'm able to kind of transition.
So if when you pull away, like when you pull off, it's okay for a moment. You know what I mean?
Just for a moment.
You can take some
just
time.
a moment. Quick moment, real quick.
That's good. Chad is good.
Yeah, real quick moment. It's very quick, though. It's swift. It's not very. It's like 2 minutes, if that. You know what I'm saying? It's not very long.
On the clock.
Yeah. The whole time. You know what I'm saying?
I worked extra.
Man, I stayed over. You know what I'm saying? At the house, though. Okay. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
But I know Chad would stay.
Yeah, no, I do, man.
Chad would stay, and if Chad hadn't hit a number,
if
Chad hadn't hit a number, he worked extra.
So
there's no doubt in Chad's work.
But though, to answer your question, it's hard to stay focused at home.
Oh yeah,
on the task
I can see
because it gets you're at home and you're
so
like
many distractions, right? Like I can do this. I know how I am. I could be doing this. I could be fixing this. I could be doing this. That's what I would do.
And you're sitting in front of the computer thinking, so I could be doing this. Or I could be doing that. Well, so I'm just going to do this.
So nothing getting done.
I shouldn't be doing that. Oh, no. You know what I'm saying? So it's just distraction. Yeah. But at the end of the day, though, it works out good because I don't have the drive time to work. Mm-hmm. And I don't have the drive time from work. So that's basically 2 hours of my day. Mm-hmm. Just that's mine. So I'm able to invest that into my kids. Yeah. Invest that into my craft, you know, whatever it be. So at the end of the day, what are you doing with all this time?
So before you said it, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, what are we?
So I gained in my life alone. I gained 4 hours, Doug. An hour of that I'm using for sure to sleep.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying. I gained an extra hour of sleep.
Yeah, no commute because I'm not. So think about why there's so many people in your position. There's I think it was. I just read something. 40, somewhere right on 50% of the population. Like there's their job. They don't see any reason to have to go back to an office. Right. I mean, there's so many jobs out there that. Why, if I'm a company, why do I have that building open to house you to come get on a computer and send? Is that not the dumbest thing I mean, why would you waste money?
Well, I don't know, Doug.
Why do I need a manager over me if I
don't know, Doug. I don't know. I'm with the majority on this one, Doug.
I don't ever need to go back to the office. So.
I could go or not, Doug. I don't know, Doug, on that one. But I will say this though: what are you doing with your time, man? Yeah. So like, you know, so imagine if you did get laid off or you're not working. Like people screaming all this stuff, man. I don't got time. I can't spend time. I can't do this. But now we got all the time. Whether you're working or not, you got time.
Oh, shit, right.
Time has Slow. You can't stop time, right? That's all we ever heard our whole life, Doug. You can't stop. And you can't stop time. Time is gonna go.
It's gonna go.
But hasn't it slowed down? Man, and it hasn't slowed down because it's still the same time. But you have what are you doing with your time? You watching Netflix, Doug? I know that show was dope. We were just talking about it, man.
Yeah,
I don't remember which one it was.
I don't know. We were 8 hours in. Like I spent 8 hours today just watching a show. But you know, that's what we're trying. Like, what are you spending on your time watching shows?
You getting more Facebook time in? What
have you always wanted to do? Have you always wanted to write something? Write it down. Have you ever wanted to produce a podcast? I don't know. Never wanted. You tried it. Like, hey, guess it wasn't real good. Okay, and you know I'm not saying it. You know what I mean?
When I know mine ain't good based on my views.
But you know what I'm getting at is like even if you fail at it, man. Jesus,
what
at least
are you doing
when
with
you'll
your
try.
time,
And so our kid, like my kid, I think of my kids too. Like they've done great. Like what are you kids doing? Like I don't have any. What are you doing? What is it you like? Are you reading more? Are you working more? Are you kicking the ball? Are you throwing the ball? Whatever it may be.
Right.
Am I working? I don't know, working out more? Chad wants to start a channel. You'd be, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you? Look at him. I mean, you should. So, what are you doing with your time? And again, so everybody, you see the people on the steps that are protesting. We want to open everything back up. Blah blah blah. So my freedoms have been taken away. So wait a second. When we were talking about this, is what I find funny too. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I'm at home with my kids. I don't have to work. I'm getting paid.
Yeah,
matter of fact, I got laid off. I make more being laid off and taking my government check than I made at work.
Right.
Okay.
Because now they bumped it up.
They bumped it 800. You get 800 or 600 extra on top of whatever. So you're making 800 a week to not even go to work. Breathe. Breathe money. Breathing. You're breathing money.
Yeah.
So you got that going now. So I don't have to go to work. I've got time to. If I wanted to play an instrument, do I want to get in shape? Do I want to? And you see people doing it, and people do. And
people are.
I want whatever.
But it's still a small percentage, Doug.
Is it half empty, half full?
Yeah, it's half empty for most.
And unfortunately, that's what's sad about is that most people are half empty.
Most people are too busy complaining about how Trump didn't handle this situation, how Trump didn't. So we were talking about this earlier.
Yes.
So I don't really like to get political or politicians or into
like
politics.
It makes
That's the right
sense.
word.
It
Yeah,
makes
into
it
politics.
into
Yeah,
politics.
yeah. I don't like to get into it. But we were talking, and everybody wants to throw. And I've noticed a lot of your people that are well off, like they get a lot of money. They're dogging Trump, right? And I don't care either way, right? Are you gonna help me? And me meaning we were just talking about this earlier, like the lower. I'm gonna say the low class. The low. He says the lower middle, but I think we're low class. I think you don't work, low class, middle class, rich. But he says we're lower middle, so we can agree to disagree on that.
Sure,
that's fine. So finally, believe it or not, people, guess who your president's helping? Guess who's getting the checks? Us.
Yeah.
The working class. And I ain't saying $2,000 was enough. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying
not
is
in a one-time effect, but if it leads
he's working on trying to get you a recurring revenue. So I said all that to say, and if he gets that, he may be the GOAT. But that's a whole nother. No, I know y'all gonna hate me. Y'all know y'all gonna hate me. Trump the GOAT. Yes, Obama. All that. I'm black. I get it. But I'm just saying, if he gets me $2,000 for even 3 months, 3 times, that's the GOAT. You the GOAT. Nobody has ever helped the working class.
Yeah.
Which president has helped the working class? The working class, not the poor, not the people that don't work. And I don't say poor, I mean don't work. That's the poor in America is don't work, right?
Don't work. Yeah.
That's the poor. You don't work.
You have some kids, and you probably want to have a lot of them because you get extra because everyone.
Yeah.
That.
I don't know about you, but I don't want to help them. I know y'all do because they don't. They have nots. I get it. They've been in bad situation. I pray for them. Pray for me too. I need some prayer.
We all do. A lot.
So, but I ain't even cut y'all. What you gonna say, man?
No. Keep going. You're preach on. No, because I'm with you. No.
But I'm just saying. This is the first time I feel like if he gets the recurring revenue going, that's dope. $2,000, that's dope too. But if he gets the recurring revenue going, hey, that's something that's helped us, and we all know what he's doing. We're not slow, are we?
I don't think so.
Anybody that's in office is going to help themselves and their family, right?
Sure, and I think that if you're in that position, obviously corporations, and we know that the lobbyists, they run. We're a corporate country. I think we're a corporate. We're ran by the corporate world, so they're going to.
Tycoon is what they call it. A business tycoon.
He's your president. He's your president. And guess what? He's surrounded by people that came out of business all around him. They all have worked in business.
Yeah. That's all he's hiring because that's where he's from.
That's where he's from. So I get that. And it doesn't look good necessarily, but to some people, it doesn't look good.
Glass half empty. Glass half full.
Again, so you're getting this. So if I'm and there's things they've passed where you don't have to pay your mortgage right now. If you contact them, you let them. You don't have to pay it by law. They can't charge you interest. They can't. You got to pay it. You're still going to pay it on the end. But I got basically a 6-month defer. Why not? What are you doing with that? So half empty, half full. So Doug, what are you doing with it?
So Doug, who has a mortgage?
Most families have probably got a mortgage. Majority of people have a mortgage. If not a mortgage, it's rent. So percentage-wise, is it? I don't know. 60%.
So what class we talking about?
I would say you're middle class. Just middle, which middle could go from low to high end. Some middle class. I think they label middle class up to
$500K or something like that.
Which Jesus Christ,
family though.
Man, if you're making if you're pulling in this area,
well,
if you're knocking down 100 G's, you're living. Yeah. There should not be a complaint. Don't complain. If you and your wife make that.
We're talking worldwide. So 500 to let's just say 50. You know what I'm saying? In a household.
Yeah.
That's what we're calling the low middle.
And we're saying low middle as in regard to this country, but let's take it on a world scale, global scale.
Yeah.
You're top 1%, you will hit the lottery being born here. In like a lot of developed countries, you hit the lottery if you were born there because you're living at a level that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all seen the videos. We all look. The truth of the matter is, you hit the lottery when you were born, and so to sit around for any of us to sit around and complain too much about I don't have this, I don't have that. Wait a sec. Whoa. Slow your roll.
I cry about it too.
That's human. I don't think that's human nature,
I just
right?
feel like I'm better than some of the people that's rich. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
A couple of them.
No, you're true. It's true. No, but I think that's part of being human, though, is that we all.
It's competitive.
It's
competitive. Man. Our generation, man, competitive.
Generation.
I'm the
think
realest.
just in
You
general,
ain't.
Yeah, exactly. We all feel like I know if you're your own worst critic, you're never good enough, and I never feel good enough, and that's always I think we all deal with it.
Doug.
Body dysmorphic.
Never be
body
good
dysmorphic.
Would
He's
never
small.
be good
He's
enough.
small. He's really small.
Would never be. Good
He should
enough.
lift more.
Yeah,
he should go more.
Higher reps, more reps.
He should try. He needs to find the cream and
more too.
the cream and the clear.
Yeah, and clean.
That cream and clear.
Yeah. Well, all water. Yeah, no sugar.
It's just creatine.
Yeah, just
I'm just taking creatine.
Yeah, a lot of
That's
stuff.
why I'm so big. I just
a lot
take
of stuff,
creatine.
man, a lot of stuff. But yeah, man. I mean, it's coming to a point, man, to where we are present. This is a great opportunity. I know it's a pandemic, and I know people are dying. And I don't know that. I know what you're telling me. People are dying.
Or the numbers that high? I don't know. I question that, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, death is death. I don't want to see nobody die. I don't want to die, but we all gotta die. But what you're telling me doesn't seem any more dramatic than anything death, as far as what we were just talking about earlier, racial profiling. You know, that death seems higher to me than this pandemic. We were just talking about earlier, the swine flu. It seemed more deadly. If you catch
way
that,
more number-wise, you were dead. Yeah.
If you catch that, it's a wrap. You know, so this doesn't seem as intense to me. But like I said, I haven't seen it personally. So now you're saying, okay, I haven't seen this personally. And you're giving me all these extra opportunities. You're giving me family time. You're giving me money. What's the problem? Isn't that what we were all begging for? We don't got time.
Yeah.
If I just had some time.
Yeah. Now you got it. Oh, if I could just be home with the kids.
Yeah, if I could just be home with my family. If I just had 30 minutes, man, I could be so great.
What'd you do with the time?
What'd you do with that 30 minutes?
What'd you do with it?
You got it now. You got that 30 minutes for sure. I know you do.
Yeah.
Because I got it.
Yeah, don't pretend you don't. Right?
I got it. I know you got it.
And you know what? That's heavy. Like it's like we all want to make excuse, but like really?
Now though.
Man, go ahead and give me an excuse. Why
Cry
this
me a
XYZ? It's an excuse. It's an excuse.
Now it's definitely one, man.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so back. I think the theme where you went with this tonight was just how are you going to see this? It's either the end of the world or hey, it's a new opportunity to me. And
it feels like it's a new opportunity to me.
Yes, and listen, when do the rich get richer? When things go bad.
Yes.
Okay, and granted, I think that you've seen it too. I mean, we were talking about this. What Bezos went from. He was a billionaire, 20 plus billion, and during this Corona thing, I think he increased like 20 billion.
Yeah.
But obviously, with what he does in the shipping, we get why because things kind of shut down.
You know, you can't.
But the rich get richer always. But is it their
hustle.
fault? It's a hustle.
So yes, I'm helping me, but here's something for you.
Yeah.
Here's something for you, and not for you over there that's sleeping on the bench because you want to do whatever your choices are.
Sure.
But like you choose to go to work every day, Doug. Every day. For your family, for you to be a man. You choose to go to work every day.
Yeah.
Who has ever helped you before now saying, hey, you ain't got to pay your mortgage because of this situation for 6 months?
Never.
You ain't got to pay your mortgage. Hey, Doug, here's $2,000, man. Oh, you got kids? Here's a couple stacks. You got a wife? Oh man, here's another grand. Take this, man. Take this. We're sorry that this happened to you, Doug. Doug, we're sorry it happened. We're sorry, man, but you're working. And most jobs are essential.
And I'm gonna give you some money.
Most jobs are essential.
Yeah.
Most of them. And you this people, I'm sorry if you did lose it. if you did lose your job, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we know certain industries, right? Retail space, restaurants,
building
just hammered.
Hammered.
There's certain industries were
and
hammered.
I get it. There's some people
others
that
weren't.
lose it, but the people that lost it. But here's some money to cover, and you unemployment. Yeah, you didn't get it the day you needed it, but here's 6 months. You don't have to pay your mortgage, and it's gonna take us 6 months to get you your money.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, so here's
and
this.
we're backdating from.
Yeah,
because I come from a backdating industry. Yeah.
Yeah. The commission wise, that kind of pace. Yeah.
Yeah. Even bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. It starts today. You're going to pay, but then we're going to give you the lump sum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I come from that. So that's not scary to me.
Yeah. And it may be to some, but so you're someone that was in an industry that got hammered. Well, so here's your opportunity to get out of it potentially. So you're still able to get your money. You can still go do something else. Maybe you don't want to be in this. And I was in the restaurant industry at one time, and I was a bartender, waited, but maybe it's time to get out of it.
Maybe.
And maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe.
And again, half full, half empty.
Yeah, it's all
in every circumstance.
Perspective.
Yeah, and sometimes the perspective looks bad. I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
neither
Everybody's situation is different.
Man, and the filter's different.
And this is not the podcast to do that. All I'm saying is the money is coming. And I ain't talking for a small business. I'm talking about the working class. I'm talking about us. Mm-hmm. Like you're a small business owner. That's a little different. Your situation is a little different than mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's even a little tougher.
It could have been, it could have slowed down. I definitely saw probably a third of just business go down, maybe a little more, but I've stayed steady and hadn't stopped. So I feel blessed, and I don't feel bad at all. And I've actually seen that where I need to go with the business is on dealing with maintenance. I just come handyman kind of stuff. Like, so I need a van. Like I'm actually, so I haven't really stopped working, but I've realized like with this kind of stuff happening, like I know where I can go and make even more money and probably really change where the direction I'm going, just what I want to do. I've opened, so it's helped me. It has helped me to see some things.
Time to think.
It's given me some time to think,
and it gave you a reason to think.
And like I've still got some stuff that's going on, but like if I need to figure out something, there's something else. You got to find another revenue stream or another. It's okay, and as a small business owner, there's never that comfort. Like you're never going to have enough work booked, or if you've got enough work booked, you're too busy, you can't get it done. So there's just there's that trying to, but yeah, it's all good, man. It's the glass is half full. It ain't empty, man. Yeah. Like you said, and no matter what you believe, whether God is, like we were saying, a woman, a man, is it the energy? Is it the moon? Whatever.
All of us in the room, who knows?
Whatever it is, but God's never let me, God has never let me, I've never went hungry. I've never went without. There's always been an opportunity in a way.
You're ready to work.
And right, I think it's even a biblical principle of just like as
if
hard as you don't work, you don't eat.
Is that the Bible?
The harder you work, the more you work, the more you're blessed. Like, you know what I mean? You have to. You gotta want it, and there ain't nobody gonna give it to you, man. And chance.
And then when they giving it to you, what are you doing?
You don't want
it. Are you just
more
sitting down watching Netflix, cashing your check?
I know.
And complaining about it ain't enough.
So again, you took my freedom, but wait a second. I'm again. We can go on and on with this.
Freedom.
My freedom, we have freedom. We're
got
good.
more freedom now than I've ever had.
Exactly. I hadn't even thought taking my freedom. I have more freedom than ever.
So what's my freedom? Going to the club?
Yeah, going to get your hair cut or going to the bar. I mean, what is it?
Why did you learn to cut your hair? You got time.
And your hair, you ain't growing hair. Most of the people, but it wouldn't matter what you did to your hair. You still look no good.
Right? 8 weeks, maybe 9 weeks. That's 10 haircuts if you cut your hair every week.
Yeah.
You ain't got okay at it yet. Decent. Nobody's gonna see your cut. You ain't even attempted. You ain't even tried to cut your own hair, right? True. Do your own nails.
I don't know. Yeah, tried it.
Do your own anything.
And look, those are all to me, right? They're luxury. Those aren't necessity stuff. That's straight luxury. Like that's like you're lucky. You don't even have to think about where to go eat, much less I've got to worry about where to go get a nail job. Like, come on, man. You ain't got nothing to.
The thing is, like, as far as men is concerned, if you're talking about a barbershop, it's YouTube. It's type in cut your own hair, enter.
Look,
and they will tutorial you doing exactly what to do. And the store to buy the clippers is open.
It's open. It's essential. Well, and so I think that's it. Like if you want to learn something, it's a power. There's never been a point in time in humankind where you had the amount of knowledge. Every human, most of the time, it was the priest or the people that were in power. You have the knowledge. Anything you want to learn. How do I play this song? Well, it's not that. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're willing to put some time,
you got the time.
If you're willing to put
that time, but you don't want to. It's just like lifting weights, man. Oh, how you get so big? Oh, I did this. Oh, I'm asleep. But anyway,
yes.
So we were also talking, man. And I ain't gonna keep you all night. I know it's getting late, man. But so what I've done with my time is I went back to the basics with lifting weights, right?
Yeah.
So it's really cool, actually. I got back with my football coach, man, my old football coach when I was in high school, and I'm old now. I ain't gonna speak on all that, but I will say this: he has me lifting back to the basics: barbell, dumbbell, not even dumbbell, just barbell. You know, deadlift, bench, squats, power cleans, just traditional
base,
heavy move. It's all free weights. So we were talking earlier, like he's built like a defensive end lineman. 280, and I'm built more like a running back receiver type of build, but he was telling me that, you know, he wants his son, that he wants the running back lifting with the lineman. And that hits home so hard because yes, it may not push the lineman, but the lineman feels appreciative that the running back or the skill position player is putting in the work with them and even keeping up with them.
Yeah, I think, and I think that even speaks more, like if you want to go philosophical on it, but so I'm the small guy, or I'm obviously the running back is not as big as the lineman, or if that's not the case you want, but that guy who's willing, the person that's willing to go with the people that are better, like to go work with someone who's like, and I love working with people that know more than me. Like I want to surround myself with people that know more than me and are better than me because I will learn from them. And honestly, I'll look like if I'm a manager or an owner of a company, like I don't want to be the best. If you're the best person on your team, you're probably not winning a lot of ball games. Like you want to be, or I would rather, even like my kids, I'd rather them be an average player on a really good team as to be the best player on a poor team because they're not going to grow. You know, you're going to grow. Yeah, you gotta grow. So it goes back to that. Like if you just work, if you're stronger than me, which you are stronger than me, and I'm not afraid to. I would work out with you and I would get stronger just by work because you're going to push me. You need people that are going to push you. You need a truth teller, somebody that's going to tell you when you're not giving your all. It's fundamental stuff.
The lineman, though, hey, you know, I can't push, you know, let's just say 400 pounds for a 2, but guess what I can do? I can push this 225 for 12.
So I pushed more weight than you did over that same amount of time.
You're bigger, stronger, but now you're pushing more reps. You're pushing more volume because I'm like, hey, we need to hit more of this weight. Because so you want to hit heavy, I want to hit volume. So now we mixing and matching. So now you're taking the best of you, and I'm taking the best of me. And we're combining it, and we're both getting better. You're working on your endurance. If you're the lineman, I'm working on my strength if I'm the running back.
And it's time under tension. If you know training, time under tension, man. Again, if I do less weight than you, but if I do it more reps than you do the heavyweight, I've done the same amount of work. So people get hung up. Like I think that was, I wish I had learned. I've preached it to my nephews. I showed you a picture of earlier that they've played with. They've known, we mentioned Charles, and Charles knows them, and Charles' son, him and my nephew are best friends. But I've told them both, and I've mentioned, like, if I had known when I was young to not worry and get hung up on
the
heavy weight, focus on lifting properly. The basics. These basics, don't
squat
and just
deadlift, power clean,
and be good at that.
And be great.
And the basics.
The form's gonna take over. When your strength fails, your fatigue fails.
Form takes over.
That's what takes.
And you know what? I think life going back, life is fundamental. It's the basic stuff, man. It's not, man, nobody's reinvented the wheel. There's certain principles. There's certain principles that work. And if you work hard, you're good to people, you respect people, race, religion, creed, sexuality, who cares? And if your fruit that you produce will speak volumes. That's what, right? So if you're producing the right kind of fruit and you're good things will happen to you, man. And it doesn't mean you're rich or you're going to be Jeff Bezos and got $20 billion in the bank.
No doubt.
I would love to, sure. I'd love to know, but I probably won't never ever know. And I'm not worried about that, but I'm worried about being a good man. Am I a good example to my kids and my family and I just don't want to be an excuse for anybody.
Exactly. So I mean, it boils down to that, man. I mean, like you said, with a business or with corporations and with sports and everything, you don't want to be the best player on your team. You want to always feed off somebody and be learning every day, because once you're comfortable doing the same thing every day, like I told him with my lifting weights, I didn't realize how much I was utilizing machines and that stuff. Not to say machines and stuff is bad, but I didn't realize how much I wasn't pushing myself, to get better. And that's because you
get comfortable in certain routine. That's human nature.
Your look's the same. You're maintaining.
You're maintaining.
Yeah, so if you're maintaining, you're not going backwards, and you feel like you're progressing. But
and I've been stuck, and that's been my thing for a long time now. Is I've been stuck just in maintaining. I haven't really pushed myself to develop I've been there, done it, but I don't push myself probably and that's why I've got to find a change in my fitness routine. Now I've been stuck on the bait that I've always deadlifts and power stuff and explosive. That's my I wanted to be an athlete, train like an athlete. It's been my philosophy for a long time. But I do find that even that, and that's boring. Like I got to do something different.
Yeah, you got to change.
And you got to change.
And you can't get stagnant to machines. If you're already pushing the free weights and all that, or in life, man, it may be like, man, forget this. Man, we were talking about this earlier, man. Like, and I was talking about this on a previous podcast. Like, I could sit at this corporation. I could work, miss my whole kid's childhood, but what did I get?
You want time, right? Everybody's work, but time, you can't buy time. You won't get it back.
Am I going to be the president of that corporation?
Probably not, Chad.
Am I even going to be the VP? Hell, Doug. Am I even going to get an area of people? You said so. With that being said,
could you? But we've been there.
But so could you or can't you? So you got to make that decision. Is it worth me to give up everything, my kids' life on a dream, or do I need to take responsibility? And make another move to be involved. And it all boils down to choices. It all boils down to choices and actions. So,
that's true. And you know what? That's a great. I mean, what else can you say? But you can probably end the whole thing. Yeah. You end the podcast on that statement. Yeah, and it's choices and
there's action
and your attitude. What do you see? Back to you started it. What is it?
So that's empty, right? But no, it's some in it.
There's some in it, but
half full,
right? But there's times in life you have to recognize the glass I'm dealing with is low. And I've got to change something.
I need to look for another glass.
I need to find another. It doesn't mean that it's over.
Yeah.
It's not the last one.
No.
There may not be one in the fridge. No. There's one in the store. Are you willing to? Can you go get one?
Can I get somebody to go get it? What I need to figure out how to do it. How to get it. You know what I'm saying? So
it's up to you.
It's up to you, man. It's up to you. How hard are you willing to push it? Like man, I ain't gonna go into that, man. It just drives me nuts because I hear people complain all the time and they want to talk, man. They want to talk. Like I'm gonna end it on this, man. So I got a good friend of mine. He came to me with an idea about a podcast. Mm-hmm. We talked for about an hour, going back and forth about his idea. Yeah. So I'm like, well, as long as we get started by this date, man, let's do it. Yeah. Let's have it in the can this date. Then we'll look at every mistake we made, everything we did, and we'll get it right on season 2. Sure. Hey, man, we need to sit down and talk about it and do some more. So I said, we just talked.
Talk. For an hour. You'll talk yourself into doing nothing. You'll overanalyze. Overanalyzing gets you nowhere.
Talk is cheap.
Paralyzes you.
Talk is cheap. You better do something. Yeah. Because if you don't do it, you can't figure it out.
Yeah, and the worst thing you can do is talk about it. If you're thinking about doing something like don't talk about your pot. Just
go
do it.
back to episode 1 and look at this one. Tell me the talk hadn't turned into progression.
Yeah,
each episode gets better.
Oh, sure,
gets better.
Even from the last one I did with you. This is like and it has to become anyways.
Yeah.
On
this episode 39.
It's a good one.
Yeah. We ain't mean to get all deep with you, and I hope you enjoyed it, man. Don't forget, comment, subscribe.
So we're gonna say we're looking for weekly nuggets, gold nuggets, the gold nuggets,
gold nuggets. Yeah, be on the lookout for that. Because we're gonna try to drop them. It's plenty of them in this one. So if you don't have time to watch the whole podcast, be on the lookout on my social media, Instagram. And Facebook, all Chad Rob TV or Chad Owen Robinson. Look, it's Golden Nuggets. We dropping jewels, man. We cutting them up and we dropping jewels, and they coming. We're gonna start weekly, then they'll turn into daily. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, I'm still resting too. You know, hey, I'm enjoying the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying?
Is that you, Rona? Is that you, Rona?
Yeah. I mean, I don't mean no disrespect to anybody that actually.
Not at all.
I just I personally don't know anybody, and I know it's serious. I know all that, but I just don't know what we're doing. The people that are here, what we're doing. What are we doing? Let us do it. That's here. Let us grow and get better and figure out how to be safe for our brothers and sisters and everybody, children, and get better. But anyway, man. As always. Oh yeah, tell them where they can find you. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you get away that.
Before I came. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And that's how we going.
That's how we.
I'll be back.
Yeah.